You know, Vegas is one of the great food cities in the world, so we really can't talk about our food scene enough. So today on CityCast Las Vegas, we're bringing our newsletter editor Rob Katchelreese onto the show to help us break down some of the best new restaurants to hit Vegas so far this year. We're also diving into the new openings coming our way and what you need to know about them and what challenges new restaurants are facing here in the Valley right now. Before we get into today's show, we're doing a little summer cleaning, although that's kind of a new concept, Rob. Are you a summer cleaner or a spring cleaner?
I don't do any cleaning, actually. I have a housekeeper. I pay $140 every other week to come over and clean up all the messiness I leave around the house, and I'll tell you, it's worth every penny.
It is. I was reluctant to do it. My girlfriend pushed us to do it. We actually got in a little bit more of a deal, $120 a month, or $120 every other time, that is. And it has been worth every penny. As a cheapskate myself, I can't go back to it any other way. I love the cleaners. They are awesome. So shout out to them for doing the good work and saving some time for all of us. But here at CityCast Las Vegas, like I said, we're doing some summer cleaning of our own. And we're actually going through and giving out some more CityCast Las Vegas swag to our new CityCast Las Vegas neighbors. And this is brand new gear that's never been claimed. This is some pretty cool stuff that we've got for our new members. Huh, Rob?
Right. When we say brand new, it's stuff we've offered before, but we still have some that some people might like to get their hands on. If they've thought about being a member, a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor, and haven't pulled the trigger yet, here's how you can do it. It's only $10 a month. You could save a little more money, and that's $100 a year, and you get a lot of great perks. I mean, the podcast is always free. The newsletter is always free every day. But if you're a CityCast Las Vegas member, you get ad-free listening, members-only podcast segments, and you also get some swag when you sign up. And we were looking around the digital CityCast Las Vegas office, and I think we found a dusty box of Oxford pennants that people really responded well to when we offered them the first time, and others have asked, hey, can I get my hands on those too? Well, now's your lucky day.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, if you sign up, one of those bad boys can be yours. I got one when I jumped on board here with CityCast Las Vegas, and I was so stoked to get it because as a kid, like I had an affinity for Oxford pennants. I grew up in a family of Boston Red Sox fans, and we always would buy the Boston Red Sox Oxford pennants. So I grew up around those things. So it's really cool having one that's like unique to Las Vegas and CityCast Las Vegas in particular. One thing that really stands out to me is it's got the Welcome to Las Vegas sign on there. Again, says, you know, I live here on purpose, which just hits home for all of us.
Right.
Because aren't we all constantly defending living in Las Vegas, right?
We have to. We got to kind of stand up for Vegas a little bit, and this is perfect for that. And it's made by that same Oxford company. It's American-made, hand-stitched, felt. I mean, it's really nice to look at. It even feels good.
Yeah, it's the goods. We didn't spare any expenses on this one. So if you want one of these and you're not already one of our CityCast Las Vegas neighbors, sign up, become one of our neighbors. To snag your pennant now, go to membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas to sign up and claim one of those pennants. Once supplies are gone, they are gone. These things are limited. So again, if you want to jump on board with us and claim that pennant, go to membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. It's Monday, August 3rd. I'm Jesse Merrick, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. You know, Rob, it's kind of crazy living in Vegas. I feel like we're so unique because, yes, new restaurants come to every city, but at Vegas, it's a totally different, I think, cadence with it. We've got the Strip, we've got things off the Strip, so like it's constantly changing, and I love that. And in one of our recent newsletters, you said something that really struck me too, is, you know, you were like, hey, look, we haven't updated our ongoing list of best new restaurants in a while, so you kind of released like an early report card of 2026. I was inspired. I'll give you my take on which one I went to from your list in just a second, but hit us with some of the recs that you got from these new restaurants so far in 2026.
Well, first of all, Jesse, I'm just happy to hear you read the newsletter. So That's good. But yeah, we have this segment in the newsletter where we go over best new restaurants. We describe recent openings. And then what we do is we add them to the online version of the story. And here's the thing. We try to do it like every few months or at least once a season. And I realized we hadn't done it at all for 2026. So it's midsummer now. And so we kind of framed it as a mid-year report on some of the best restaurants that have opened their doors so far. And you know what? It hasn't been a super busy year for openings, but the new restaurants that have shown up are really, really good.
Yeah, no, there's a couple bangers. Like as I was reading through there, I was like, man, I want to try all of these restaurants. But for you, when you did this list, what was the one that you were like, okay, if you're gonna pick one of the new restaurants, you gotta go here first?
All right, forget mid-year report. When everybody does their best of the year restaurant reviews for 2026, they're all going to be talking about Maroon.
Oh, yeah, I've heard so much about them.
By Kwame Onwuachi, who's a James Beard Award winner, and he was a favorite on Top Chef. He's been on that show a few times. And his food touches on his multicultural heritage. I mean, we're talking Africa, the Caribbean, Louisiana, all kind of like rolled up into one package that's really thoughtful, really special, and really delicious. So it used to be the old Bazaar meat space. So it's a very large dining room, but they've totally like gutted it out. I mean, it's basically the same bones, but it has a whole different feel to it. It almost kind of feels like an underground club. They play 90s R&B. So my wife likes that. She's like, I'm on board with the playlist before you even bring out the food. And the Maroon name comes from indigenous Jamaicans that created jerk-style cooking, like in the mountains, while escaping colonialism on their own home island. So, I mean, there's a lot of heritage and culture just attached to the name before you even look at the menu. But it's really good. And Maroon really gives Las Vegas something it hasn't had before, at least not on this level. I mean, you can get jerk chicken at certain places, especially off the strip, and some other smaller restaurants touch on this stuff. But to have this in such an elevated, fine dining setting that's like really cool and also just really interesting, and also at the level of what Chef Kwame is doing, I haven't seen anything like this before. They have a whole station in the middle of the dining room that's just for the jerk chicken alone.
I hate to jump in here, but like I just feel like jerk chicken as its own like category here is so underrated. Like if you go somewhere that does a good jerk chicken, it's like life-changing.
Yeah, and the same seasonings they use on the jerk chicken, they use on the steaks, and those are grilled over a pimento wood, which is a Jamaican wood. And you just have these really cool dishes to round out your meal. I like the mashed potatoes with like crawfish in there. It's almost like a stew, like a gravy. It's like really chunky. Really cool salads. There's like a mango salad that's really good. You got to start with the cocoa bread, which is like sweet and buttery. And I really even like what they're doing with like their fish dishes. Like the sea bass comes out in almost like these little cups. It almost looks like a sushi presentation, but they just do like a really great job with it. And the menu is full of great drinks. And also, I want to shout out the wine list because Chef Kwame makes a point to highlight women-owned and minority-owned wineries. So it's like a lot of small producers, a lot of things you're not going to find elsewhere. So, I mean, check this out. I mean, get the fried rice and peas. That is good. Get like the beer braised cabbage. That's a great side dish. Just a lot of interesting things and different flavors that you're not going to find anywhere else, but in a really cool contemporary setting.
Yeah, so that one's definitely on the list. I cannot wait to try it. One spot that I was inspired when I read your list, and I talked about this recently on our Guide to the Month episode, was Donebury. And that's one of those things that like I'm always on the hunt for great all-you-can-eat sushi spots. I've been converted since moving to Las Vegas. I love all-you-can-eat sushi. But every now and then when I do go to a quote-unquote regular sushi restaurant, I'm inspired where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is like where the love of sushi started for me as a kid.
Right. You got to wonder why they're all you can eat sometimes.
Exactly.
I'm not saying they're all something to be cautious of, but just keep it in mind. Yeah.
But like, let's keep it real. Like there's a difference in quality. Like, cause I feel like it's like a grading scale where you're like, all you can eat, I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of the quality while still great here in Las Vegas. But when you go to like an actual place that's going to be charging you per dish, not all you can eat, it is like next level. And this place was awesome, Rob. Like you did not disappoint in your recommendation on this one. My girlfriend and I went down there and got one of the omakases and it was awesome. Chef Jane Doan crushed it. And she delivered a pretty great selection for us. I can't remember all the cuts that we ended up getting in this one, but I remember the fatty tuna was like off the charts. Just like I said, so fresh. And they use a lot of yuzu in a lot of their different dishes and things like that. And it really stands out.
Yeah, and they do a lot of like homemade stuff. Like the soy sauce is made in house. They do this like wasabi creme fraiche that they kind of do themselves. Yeah. And I think the omakase is the way to go because they kind of present them in what they call like these treasure boxes and jewelry boxes. And, I think they start at like $70. Does that
Yeah.
sound right? And
We paid 70 for the smallest one, and between two people, like that's really not bad. Now, to be fair, that's not all we got, so the bill is a little more
Right.
expensive. But $70 to split something like that, which it was actually enough food for the two of us, like that's a solid deal.
yeah, and if you compare that to what you might get for something similar on the Strip, you're definitely saving some money. And
Big time.
Chef Doan, who used to work on the Strip, I think she was with Morimoto. I think she was also with Mizumi at the Cosmopolitan. So she has been working with the best in the business. And now she's taken that, bringing it to the Spring Valley area, the restaurant on Rainbow, I think near Russell, kind of in that area, the Spring Valley area. But, just a really good job of sourcing really high-end seafood and also just very creative, exquisite presentations. I mean, it's a really special restaurant.
Yeah, it is. And I shouted out the summertime roll in particular on the Guide to the Month, episode we did. Definitely check that one out. Just to read you guys off the menu what it is, they call it a refreshing roll with Japanese yellowtail topped with cherry tomatoes, garlic, cilantro, and yuzu soy. It was off the charts. I haven't had a sushi roll with tomatoes on it, so that was kind of new for me. And it was like awesome. They crushed it. So definitely can't recommend that enough. Rob, before we close out this portion of the show, what's one more rec that people got to check out?
Yeah, I mean, it's really been a good 6 months for new openings. I do want to give a shout out to 328 Thai, which is a new Thai restaurant by the same people who do Wira Thai. It's actually a few doors down from the Golden Steer. And I describe it as something that's like, if you're ready to graduate from the same old pad Thai, I mean, you can get that here too. But they just do some other things, spicy seafood, just really interesting stuff, and a very cozy, but I want to say elevated setting too. It's good for date night. But if Maroon didn't exist, I think the best new opening of the year would be Brasseria by EDO.
Yeah, they know the thing or two about running restaurants, that's for sure.
Yeah, so the EDO empire, I mean, it continues to grow. It all started with Chef Oscar Amador, who opened the original EDO in Chinatown. So that's closed. And now he has his own new version of that, which is Amador Cocina Fina. And he's kind of focusing on that right now. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is focusing on Brasseria. So you still have Anima by EDO, which is at the Gramercy. But Brasseria is on Paradise, actually not too far from the Sphere. So, if you're planning a big night out at the Sphere and you want to go someplace before or after, they do have a daily happy hour and reverse happy hour at the bar. So that's something to keep in mind. But Brasseria continues that tradition with Chef Tayden Poya Alamar, who used to be with Joel Robuchon's operation at the MGM Grand. So he knows his stuff. He's running the kitchen right now. And while the original EDO kind of leaned heavily towards Spanish tapas, Brasseria has a little bit of that, but is focusing more on like a French influence while mixing a little bit of Italian, a little bit of that Spanish influence, and you're getting those tapas. You're getting just really delicious food and a good atmosphere. And, one of my favorite dishes there is they have this tart. It's a foie gras tart. It's a little bit savory, but it's like really sweet. And if you're sitting at a table and you try this, there'll be like an instant debate over, should this have been saved for dessert? Does it work as an appetizer? How do we do this here? But you get a lot of the same stuff that the EDO concept is known for. You get tasting menus. There's gin and tonic carts that serve really good cocktails. And just like a lot of really good food. These guys know what they're doing. We'll do a CityCast happy hour there.
Hey there, CityCast listeners. We know that many of you, just like some of us, are helping care for our parents. In fact, new findings from the Center for Retirement Research show that 17% of Americans are spending dozens of hours a month doing so. Touching Hearts at Home provides specialized trained caregivers to help. Their caregivers offer personal care like bathing, help with meals, eating, transportation, and more. Plus, Touching Hearts was just named Best In-Home Care Service by Modern Luxury Vegas magazine, so they provide care you can trust. So let Touching Hearts at Home support you so you can be more present. Visit touchingheartsathome.com/Henderson to learn more. And mention CityCast and you'll get 15% off your first month. That's touchingheartsathome.com/Henderson to learn more. Again, too, make sure you mention CityCast and you get 15% off your first month. Touching Hearts at Home is care without compromise. All right, Rob. So you mentioned the fact that we're already off to a pretty hot start here in 2026, but we've got more restaurants coming our way here this year and in the coming years. I'll start us off here on this one because I've wanted to go there. I actually never went to the original location, Valencia Gold, and it was on my list for so long. Then they closed, but now they're reopening down in the Arts District. This one, I recently just found it out too. I think Melinda Shekels told us about it, and then I saw a couple articles too, and I was like, I'm there. As soon as it opens in 2027, I can't wait because it's been 3 years since they've been closed, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about this. So the old Valencia Gold, they tried to do something a little bit different. They tried to take paella and make it like a single serve concept. And it's really kind of hard to do that because, paella, it's made to share in a big giant pan. And Jeffrey Weiss pulled this off. It was really good. I would call it like a step above fast casual, but it just had a really good vibe in there. Jeffrey Weiss has studied with Jose Andres. He's traveled across Spain. And now Valencia Gold, after closing, I believe during the pandemic, and never really reopening, is now going to get a second life in the Arts District. I talked to him a little bit about this. He wouldn't tell me an exact opening date. He wouldn't tell me an exact location. But, if you're in the Arts District, you got to be there to play, or else the competition is just going to overwhelm you. And this guy knows what he's doing. I'm very excited about it. Wood-fired cooking, tapas, great cocktails. I'm not sure if he's going to do the single-serve concept with the paella again this time. But either way, I highly recommend this. I'm looking forward to this very much.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this iteration of it. Like I said, this is one that just has been on my list for so long. Colin, the owner of Fuku Burger, if I'm saying that right, he's actually the one that told me about it initially when I was out here.
Yeah, if you say that wrong, you end up swearing on our podcast.
Exactly. I got to be careful. Yeah, our EP Layla is going to be like, what the hell, Jesse? Why'd you say the F word on the pod?
Yeah, we're going to bleep you out.
Yeah. Speaking of the F word, I mean, if there's a certain food out there of a new restaurant that's going to make you say, that was really good, what would that be of the ones that you're expecting to come our way?
You know what I'm really excited about? So a chef named Tyler Vorse, who used to work at the French Laundry. You may have heard of that in Napa, California. It's kind of an iconic restaurant by Thomas Keller. He's doing his own concept called Lily. Now, that started at Durango Social Club, I want to say last year, and got a really good, strong following, doing seasonal ingredients in tasting menus that kind of evolved, sometimes by the day. What I kind of love about him is he hooked up with this farm in Pahrump. Yes, that same Pahrump.
You caught my attention. Yeah, I was just about to say, wait a sec.
Actually does a really good job of just coming up with great local produce. I believe it's called Greenlight Produce. So he would go and check that place out and get fruits and vegetables that can be harvested in the desert climate of Pahrump, and he turned those into some of the featured items on his menu. So now he's getting ready to open up a brick and mortar location. So it's taken over a spot for Le Café Central, which recently closed. I kind of like that place. It was kind of a French bakery that was in the Greenleaf Lotus apartment complex in Chinatown. So Lily is going to open up later in the year, and I think this is going to be one of the best spots of the year because I already tried it in pop-up form, and it was fantastic.
Oh, nice. I love hearing that. Again, anytime new stuff comes to town, it's always like you add it to the list, and you're like, okay, got to find a way to get there. Can't wait for that one. Another one that actually caught my eye is Lester's Deli. We had Jason Harris on recently. He was talking about sandwiches and everything like that.
Yeah, he always has the scoop on new restaurants.
Yeah, he knows. He said we've got a sandwich row or something like that over off of Eastern. I got to go try this out and see what it's all about. But there's a Montreal
The sandwich wars are heating up.
Oh, could you imagine turf wars? Yeah, for sandwiches. I'm there for that. I will go to war for some good sandwiches. But Lester's Deli is apparently a Montreal institution that's been supplying the city with cured and smoked beef brisket for 75 years. And apparently it's opening its first restaurant outside of Canada here in Las Vegas. So I don't have a ton of information on that one other than that, just simply that it's a sandwich and smoked cured beef brisket. I'm there.
Yeah, I've heard about this Montreal-style brisket, the smoked beef. I haven't tried it yet, but I want to kind of check it out. And you know what, Jesse? I'll raise you one more. How about a weird opening that's coming very soon?
Ooh, okay. What's that? I'm intrigued.
All right. How do you feel about all-you-can-eat pizza?
I'm intrigued. I don't. I mean, look, as a
you're
guy
not on
who
board,
in college,
but you're feeling it.
Look, as a guy who in college would order an entire pizza and eat the whole thing, hell yeah. As a guy who's, pushing now in his late 30s, I don't know if I want to be carb loaded like that right now, but I'm intrigued.
All right. I don't know if I'm going to endorse this just yet, but I am intrigued. There's a place called Giro Grano. Now, this is coming to the Miracle Mile shops at Planet Hollywood on the Strip, and they're billing this as a pizza rodizio. So it's kind of like a Brazilian steakhouse, where you would sit at a table and then the servers come around and they give you little bites of different meats. You take what you want, you let what you don't want pass by, and it just kind of goes around the dining room. They're trying to do that as a pizza concept. Now, I went on their website. I was trying to see who's behind this. A lot of the graphics here, I feel very comfortable saying they look like they're AI generated. Like even the guy on the front page, like serving you pizza is like, hey, he looks like he came straight from artificial intelligence. But you know what? Funny. If this dining room looks remotely like the image on their website, I think it's going to be a kind of cool spot. I don't know if all you can eat pizza is a great idea, but it's a different idea.
I put that up there with the Museum of Ice Cream too, like all you can eat ice cream. Like that sounds like a brutal day at the end of the day.
Maybe
but
you
again,
start at the Pizza Rodizio, get all you can eat pizza, and then go for dessert at the Museum of Ice Cream and get all you can eat ice cream. And I think that takes care of your day right there.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely would for sure. I'm excited for that. Again, like I said, intrigued. That one's opening in the fall, right, Rob?
That's what it says. So just fall 2026, Giro Grano. Not sure if I'm saying it right, but I'm sure you'll hear more about this in the months ahead.
Definitely. Keep that one on your radar. And I'm kind of cheating here with this last one before we move on. It's not really a restaurant per se, but Cobra Clutch. Rob, we've talked about it. We love our booze. This one is going to be a Japanese-inspired cocktail dive. That alone, in terms of the description, catches my attention, but it's from DJ Flores and mixologist Lou Lopez. DJ's the man behind Nocturno and Milpa. Say less. I don't need to hear anything else about it. Like, you got me sold.
I feel like we're coming full circle because Lou also does the cocktails for Maroon over at the Sahara. So this guy knows his stuff. He's really good with cocktails. And I think they're trying to do like a little more casual dive bar kind of thing. And the location, I think, is just a few doors down from Esther's Kitchen. It's in that same intersection there. So it's a prime location in the Arts District. As you and I both know, you can't have too many cocktail lounges in the Arts District. They just seem to multiply like rabbits, and it doesn't hurt to have one more.
No, it doesn't. I love the growth that we've seen downtown, or downtown, but down in the Arts District in general. Obviously, I'm a bit biased, but can't wait for that. Also, too, kind of along the same lines here, I know I said I was cheating, but still kind of a restaurant opening there. It turns out that Milpa is actually going to be opening up a second restaurant sometime soon down in Henderson as well. So that kind of counts as a new restaurant. So keep an eye out for that, too.
Henderson, you need some better food, and here it comes.
So Milpa there again, keep an eye out. That's going to be opening sometime in the fall. So coming up pretty soon here. Again, I can't wait for that. I love Milpa. Cobra Clutch, we don't have an exact date yet. I'm hearing soon, but Rob, they are hiring. So that's a good sign, right?
Yeah, I saw something online that they are currently hiring. So that is a good sign that their opening is coming up very soon. And Jesse, do you know what the name comes from, Cobra Clutch?
I don't actually. Do you?
I do. It's Sergeant Slaughter's finishing hold.
Oh, okay. Look at you.
If you're an old school WWF fan, you would know that.
Yeah, see, that one was lost on me. I'm not a wrestling guy, but I think that's cool. I love it. I'm excited for the vibe on this one. With Lester's Deli, guys, according to Neon, Henderson records don't indicate that a business license has been issued, but in the article, they are saying that it's coming soon. So, again, keep an eye out for that on social and maybe even here on the pod as we dive into it, too. And with Valencia Gold, it says 2027, a lot of things that we're looking at. But like, Rob, to your point, you were told soon, so possibly could be the end of the year. We'll just kind of have to play it by ear, right?
They're definitely ramping up. And you know what? If you're not certain, subscribe to the newsletter. We talk about this stuff all the time, and we'll keep you in the loop on everything.
Hey there, CityCast listeners. We know that many of you, just like some of us, are helping care for our parents. In fact, new findings from the Center for Retirement Research show that 17% of Americans are spending dozens of hours a month doing so. Touching Hearts at Home provides specialized trained caregivers to help. Their caregivers offer personal care like bathing, help with meals, eating, transportation, and more. Plus, Touching Hearts was just named Best In-Home Care Service by Modern Luxury Vegas magazine, so they provide care you can trust. So let Touching Hearts at Home support you so you can be more present. Visit touchingheartsathome.com/Henderson to learn more. And mention CityCast and you'll get 15% off your first month. That's touchingheartsathome.com/Henderson to learn more. Again, too, make sure you mention CityCast and you get 15% off your first month. Touching Hearts at Home is care without compromise. So Rob, look, we talk about the new restaurants that have already opened, the ones that are coming here. Like the food scene in Vegas is killer, and obviously there's a ton of competition, so restaurants have to face that. But obviously, like opening a restaurant is a tough business in general. What are some of the top things that like local businesses, particularly restaurants, face here in Las Vegas?
Yeah, opening a business is tough, no matter when you're doing it. And when you're doing it now, it's even tougher because you do have a lot of competition, you have inflation, and you just have prices that are out of control. Tariffs affect things. If you have imported ingredients that you take a lot of pride in using, that's a factor. So the next time you go to a restaurant and you look at the prices and they seem a little higher than the last time you were in,
take that into account.
Keep that in mind. They're probably not raising prices to screw you over. They're kind of raising them because they have to, because all things equal, they would like to give you a good experience where you feel like you got your money's worth and it's a good value, but also something that's special at the same time. So that's one of the big things that restaurants are fighting right now. And of course, I'm on the podcast, so I'm always going to bring it back to this. Parking continues to be an issue, especially in your stomping grounds, Jesse, in the Arts District.
Yeah. Down in the Arts District, especially Taverna Costera, they're a constant on social media talking about parking.
They're carrying the flag in the fight against paid parking.
Which, I'm all for it because, look, if they win, that's going to trickle down and affects every resident of us not having to pay for parking down there. But again, it's an ongoing battle, and I know a lot of businesses are worried about parking affecting the number of people that are willing to come to their business and come down to the Arts District, quite frankly.
Well, we talked about it in the previous segment about new restaurants. The Arts District is so competitive right now. So what are the little things that are going to make or break your business as a new opening? And they have that new parking garage that's being built, which is great, but also, they're charging certain rates.
I saw the headline had said $30 a month, spot not guaranteed. And again, that would be really frustrating, especially if you're a service worker, you're paying for this. And it's like, if you don't have a guaranteed spot or even at least the section that's like, hey, reserved for service workers to feel like you have a fighting chance. Because think about that on the weekends. Like, yes, they're getting there earlier, but if it's a rush and people are down there and you can't find a spot, well, you're paying $30 a month. Oh, and guess what, too? Now you have to go pay again because you can't find a spot today somewhere on the street or whatever it is. That I would lose my mind if I was one of them.
And you know what? And then if it expires on the street, then you're getting hit with a ticket on top of that. So there's another expense. I think I saw a story about, I'm not going to name the name of the business because I don't recall that offhand. But one business owner was saying they were going to cover the parking for their employees, but that's going to add up to something like $3,000 a month. So that's worse than a tariff. That's like an extra tax on you to do business. And I've seen it where parking fees can deter customers from checking out up-and-coming businesses and other restaurants. In my neck of the woods, Uncommons, they have a paid parking garage. And I think that's one of the reasons the Sundry Food Hall didn't last, because people balked at that when you could go across the street to Durango, for example, and have free and easy parking and check out some new places over there. And there's been some other restaurants and other businesses that have struggled in Uncommons. Some of them are doing pretty good. But there's been some other closures. JB Siempre closed recently, and I'm not sure if that's purely due to paid parking, but it doesn't help. And then even across the street at the Bend, where parking is free, but parking is also very tight, and you still have new places opening there. You have Sliceteria that just opened. You got Butcher and Thief over there. These places are very busy and generating a lot of excitement. But if you drive past a place and you see the parking lot's full and you're like, maybe I'll just go over to Durango instead or go elsewhere. Restaurants in Chinatown have the same problem, but they're getting some investments now to improve infrastructure, improve some of the walkways, and improve some of the parking. So free parking is good for all. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, we need it. We need more of it. And again, maintain that it's free. Keep it free. And that is something that I think does impact a lot of folks. Because for me, again, even living downtown, one of my favorite coffee shops is I Want a Coffee. And I am a cheapo. I'm not trying to pay, for parking just to grab a cup of coffee. So unless I can find a spot in an area that is free and walk down, I'm probably not going to do it, which sucks, otherwise, or I'll just like park, try and run in, grab it and jump back in the car, which I know technically isn't okay, but it should be, right?
Well, when it comes to food and drink, you want it to be impulsive. You want it to be something where, I can just do this on any old afternoon. You don't want it to always feel like a special event. You definitely have some special event dinners. Those are worth the money you want to pay. But also you want to just have the freedom to be like, hey, I'm just going to go hang out in my neighborhood and check it out and not worry if my parking ticket is going to expire. But you know what? I think the Arts District is surviving despite a lot of challenges. I want to see what's going to happen in Henderson. And I think right now, Spring Valley might be the way to go. I think they're the ones who really have the potential to kind of jump ahead of everyone else. We talked about Doanbury. We got Top Hat. If you want some of that pastrami.
They've been so packed every time I've driven past there.
Down the block. So, maybe that corner of Spring Valley, if you go past the 215, you kind of have that mini Chinatown south of 215 on Rainbow. But I think if you come closer to the heart of what we kind of know as Spring Valley, closer to Spring Valley Hospital and some of those other areas, I think there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a spot you mentioned, down by Durango there too as well. That's where an area that's kind of booming a bit. We talk about the Arts District a lot, obviously down at Water Street too. Chinatown always has great spots to go. Like, is the Spring Valley one, is that your pick for like an area where people are seeing a ton of success, or just where more new spots are popping up? Like, are there areas in particular that you've seen, okay, these new restaurants in particular are finding success, and maybe what factors into that?
Yeah, I think you have to look at it like, what's the accessibility? What's the price of real estate? And where am I going to draw people that are looking for good food? The Spring Valley Southwest area is developing a really good reputation for that, where you can go down the street. There's places like the Black Sheep. There's places in Durango. And there's all kinds of new stuff opening up. So just, check out, support your local businesses. If there's free parking, great. But if not, deal with it for now. I hate to say it. But let's eat local. Let's skew our appetites towards independent mom and pop businesses.
Yeah, I would say bite the bullet a bit. Yeah, and make sure you support your local restaurants. One way around it too, and this is actually funny because I happened to win this contest, quote unquote. Sam and Ash, the lawyers, they have a contest that you can enter on their website to actually get a free parking space downtown in the Arts District. I just signed up on a whim and actually was hoping I could give it away here on the podcast if I happen to win, but it's non-transferable. So I got a free spot down in the Arts District for a month, which was awesome. So I would encourage you guys to go check that out and sign up. I don't know how many people sign up for it because, again, like I said, I did and won. So it could be an easy way to do it. So I was like balling out going to the Arts District, not worried about parking. And that lot that they give you is the one that's right across from Nevada Brew Works, the big old lot there right in the middle of the Arts District. So it's a great spot to be able to cruise around and access really all the businesses there.
I would like to enter that contest and maybe win free lawyer services in case I get pulled over.
That would be great too. Yeah. Maybe they can offer that. Although hopefully we don't have any need for that, Rob. If that's the case,
I'm very
maybe...
well behaved. Yes.
Yeah. With that being the case, I don't know. Maybe we should stop talking so we don't get ourselves in hot water and close out the show. What do you think?
Let's stay under the speed limit, Jesse. And thank you for having me on today.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, why not get in on the fun? Let us know what your favorite new restaurant around the valley is. Leave us a voicemail at 702-514-0719. Again, that's 702-514-0719. Again, you can call us, leave a voicemail, or shoot us a text as well. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Until then, though, take care.